Hi boys, here's a summary of the Rashi that we learned today. Periki Dalet Pasuk Dalet. Vayoimru ish elachiv. One said to his fellow man, Nitna roish. Literally that means, the word Nitna comes from the shorish of Natan, to give. Roish means a head. V'nashuva, and return to Mitzrayim. So Rashi interprets this in Dibur HaMatchil. Nitna roish. Dibur HaMatchil means the words that Rashi quotes from the pasuk which he is going to explain. It's called Dibur HaMatchil, the opening quotation. So Rashi says, he cites the Targum, Onkelos. He says, understand these words as the Targum. Nemane, let us appoint Reisha a leader. Rashi says that in Hebrew, Nasim Aleinu Melech, we will put upon us a king. And then Rashi brings a second explanation, Virabotenu, which means Chazal, when Rashi uses those words, it means either from the Gemara or Midrashim. They explained it, Lashon, as a language which means Avodas Kechavim, idol worship. So we're going to explore over here a few Rashi rules, actually two Rashi rules. We see over here Rashi brings two explanations. So first of all, what's Rashi's question? Rashi's question is pretty simple. What does Nitna roish mean? Yeah, literally, if we understand it very literally, then it means let us give a head. So Rashi brings us an explanation which explains it in a bit of a more figurative sense. Nitna roish, let us give ourselves, meaning appoint. Like when a person appoints someone, he gives him, puts him, like Rashi says, Nasim Aleinu, will put him upon ourselves. Roish, a head. Again, literally it's a head, but it means a leader. So now Rashi, that's one explanation, which seems to be enough, but the rule is if Rashi will bring another explanation, that is because there is a problem, something which is not understood with that explanation, and Rashi will give us another explanation to sort of fill in. However, the rule is that Rashi will put the more simple explanation. Rashi's principle is I come to explain pshuto shel mikra, the simple meaning of the words. So even when Rashi will bring us a medrash means to probe deeper into the words, unlike pshat, which is just a simple meaning, Rashi will bring the medrash second because it's not pshuto shel mikra. It might be connected or explains it, but it's not pshuto shel mikra. So that's why Rashi will bring the Rabbeinu Pirshu, which is the explanation of Chazal, when they give it a bit of a more deeper explanation, that it's not just a simple physical thing. Nitna roish, we will appoint a connection, something of avodah zarah. Now, what is the question with Rashi's first explanation? With the first explanation, why is that not enough? So, and there are a couple of ways to understand it. You could also contribute. First of all, later on, we're going to see how in Pasuk Vav, Yeshua and Kalev react with tearing their clothes. What was so terrible about the Jews wanting to appoint another leader? Of course, so this signifies that there's something worse than just appointing another leader. There's halacha, which we learned in the Rambam today, it comes from the Gemara, that if someone, God forbid, hears words of blasphemy, someone says something bad about, something about Hashem, disrespectful, so the Beis Din tears their clothes. Anyone who hears it has to tear their clothes. So there must have been something really terrible over here. It wasn't just that the Jews were not happy with Moshe and Aaron and they wanted to appoint another leader. A second thing, which even before that, the Jews already decided what they want. They want to return to Egypt. So they said, let's appoint a leader and return to Egypt. Why couldn't they just return to Egypt themselves? Yeah, they appoint a leader. The leader might tell them something else. Let's go to Australia. Let's go to wherever. So there's a bit of a slight problem to understand Nitna roish literally as just give us a leader, will take us to Egypt, because if he's a leader, then he decides where to go, not you. These are possible problems with Rashi, with the first explanation. Therefore, Rashi brings a second explanation, which is avodah zarah. Now, is this completely not out of pshat? No, because like we all remember, the Jewish people, after 40 days when Moshe went up to receive the Torah from Hashem, he didn't return, according to their calculation. They did exactly the same thing. They said, our leader is gone. let us get another leader. And what did they make for their leader? They made for their leader a avodah zarah, an idol, the golden calf, at least in a simple understanding. So that is so it's not surprising for us to hear that the Jews chose an idol as their leader. It's not out of the question. It's not really far from the pshat. There's the Baal HaTurim says something very interesting. So he points out, first of all, that it's 40. Here too is 40 days. The Meraglim came back, and then again, this time the Jews, Moshe was present, but they didn't like what Moshe was telling them, so they considered making an idol. Another problem with Rashi's first explanation that we can think of is that if they wanted to make a leader, they should have made a leader. Why are they saying, let us make a leader? Well, just the point is, Sanhedrin is there, let them choose a leader. So it must mean perhaps that there was something a little bit more that they had to prepare, they had to make. It wasn't 1, 2, 3. Another point that we discussed in class is that it doesn't make sense that the Jews will once again fall into the trap of idol worship after they experienced terrible repercussions of their act previously. So we have quite a few questions that there could be on the pshat, which leads Rashi to also present a medrash, a deeper, a less simplistic understanding of the pasuk. So here we have a Rashi rule. Rashi will bring a second reason if the first reason has problems with it, and Rashi will choose the reason which is more pshat. Pshut Shalmikra as the first, and will bring the medrash only as second. And then there is interesting Baal HaTurim gematrius that you could find out. I'm not going to tell that to you. You use your calculators. Have a look at the sheet. Whoever fills out the sheet, for every question that you fill out on the sheet, again, this is homework, it's not but if every question you get right on the sheet, you will get a ticket into a special raffle for something tasty. Hashem help tomorrow. All the best. Have a good night. Mashiach now.